Did you know that we can study the edge of space with just a giant balloon?
Like with helium and string?
Okay, well, maybe a little bit more complicated than a birthday party balloon.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure NASA does a little more than just party decor.
Yeah, so true. But high-altitude balloons can actually climb up over 80,000 feet above the Earth's surface.
Well, that's exactly what we're hoping to accomplish on this episode of
What's Up, Girl?
What's up, girl?
What's up, explorers? I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Marifer.
And today, we're launching science straight into the stratosphere.
Yeah, because high-altitude balloons aren't just cool, they're actually very powerful research tools. And Kaylee, didn't you launch one a couple years ago? How was that? How did it work?
Oh, yeah. So about 2 years ago, I launched like 1,000 minifigures up on a high-altitude balloon, and it was crazy, but I learned so much along the way. For example, did you know that you can put a whole bunch of sensors on high-altitude balloons to collect data on everything from temperature to air pressure, radiation, and even wind speeds?
So you're pretty much turning the sky into your science lab.
Yeah, and then all of that data can help scientists back here on Earth learn everything that they need to know about our atmosphere, weather patterns, and even the climate.
That's so incredible. And how do we go about launching our own high-altitude balloon?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think that we should probably call an expert.
To the STEM Girl Hotline. What's up, girl?
What's up, girl? Hey, Gretchen. So Gretchen's one of our favorite mechanical engineers over at NearSpace Education, and we have a question for you. So we want to send and study the edge of space using a giant balloon, but we have no idea how. Can you help us?
Yeah, I definitely can help you with that. Why don't you come up to Indiana and we can do it together?
We're so in. See you soon.
Hey girl, do you want to build a balloon?
Of course. What do we need to do?
Well, first, we need to start with a balloon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is all prepped and ready for us to go, and we can get started.
Yeah.
Next, we get to pick out a parachute. So we can pick any of these, but my personal favorite is this yellow and purple one. So after the balloon and after the parachute comes a command pod. And the command pod has all of the technical equipment
The
in
important stuff.
The important stuff. So it takes the temperature, the pressure, it has a GPS, which tells us where it is, how high it is.
Awesome.
And then it has an antenna, which communicates with another satellite in orbit. And that gets sent to our phones. So we can see in real time what data is going on.
Yes. Okay.
So,
And that's going to be able to help us recover it too, right?
yes, this is what helps us find it. Next is this hula hoop or the hoop.
Yeah, very technical, very
technical, but it holds all of the payloads that we want to put on the balloon.
We're actually sending up a couple of different non-science payloads in addition to the sensors that are in both your command pods. So we created these little co-branded keychains. They actually glow in the dark. Fun
They're
fact.
so cute.
So it has the reinvented and NearSpace Education logos since we couldn't have done without you guys. So we'll be sending a bunch of those up, and then we actually went and visited a bunch of fourth graders at the local elementary school this morning, and they are designing egg pods so that we can see whether or not a raw egg of theirs survives the drop from the edge of space. So now that we know what to do, I think we're ready to build a balloon.
Let's go.
Let's look at temperature. Temperature is actually directly related to the altitude the balloon is flying at.
Most people think that the higher the balloon gets, the colder the temperature, right? Well, that's not entirely true. While the balloon is still in the troposphere, we do see this trend where the higher the balloon gets, the colder the temperature reading.
But here's where things get crazy. Once the balloon hits the stratosphere, it reverses. The temperature actually starts to increase in the stratosphere due to the ozone's absorption of UV, or the sun's rays.
We can actually predict exactly when our balloon bursts just by looking at the temperature data. The temperature will decrease, then increase, then the balloon will pop, and we see that same trend, but now in reverse. overall, our balloon and payloads had a successful flight to the edge of space. We want to thank NearSpace Education for their incredible knowledge of high-altitude balloons and helping us make this adventure possible. And then, of course, we have to thank the kids that came out and helped us get the balloon actually off the ground.
You don't need a rocket in order to explore near space. All you need is curiosity and the right tools.
So thanks everyone for hanging out with us today, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you next time on
What's Up, Girl?